Welcome to my channel. Support our channel by subscribing. Your subscription helps us grow and create more intriguing content like this. Now let's dive into today's story. Title: How My Wife's Affair with My Boss Nearly Cost Me My Job and My Marriage. Liam. A 32-year-old marketing manager is the main character. He's hardworking, intelligent, and dedicated to his career and family. His life seems perfect. He has a stable job, a loving wife, and a home they've worked hard to build together. But recently, his marriage with Sophia has started to show cracks. Liam spends long hours at work, and although he loves his wife, they've drifted apart. Sophia. Liam's wife is a beautiful and ambitious woman in her late 20s. Sophia had once been the supportive, loving partner Liam knew and cherished. But as time passed, she began feeling unsatisfied with her life and wanted more excitement, more attention. That's when she met David, Liam's boss. David is charismatic, powerful, and always seems to have everything under control. He's a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to take it. David. The boss is a charming, successful man in his mid-40s. He's been with the company for over a decade and knows how to manipulate situations in his favor. David quickly took notice of Sophia, and what started as casual flirtation soon became a dangerous game of seduction. It all began one ordinary evening after work. Liam had spent an exhausting day dealing with a high-pressure presentation. He came home late, expecting to find Sophia waiting for him as usual in their cozy living room. But instead of a warm embrace, he was met with an empty house. Her car was gone. Liam didn't think much of it at first. Sophia had been distant lately, always busy with her own activities and interests. But something felt off that night. He checked his phone and saw a notification. Sophia tagged in a photo by David. Curious, Liam clicked on the photo. It was a picture of Sophia and David, looking too close for comfort, at a recent work event. David had his arm around her waist, and Sophia was laughing in a way that made Liam feel uneasy. The caption read, "Great time at the conference. Work hard, play hard." Liam tried to brush off the feeling in his gut. It was probably nothing. But as the night wore on, doubts began to gnaw at him. Why was Sophia spending so much time with David lately? Was it just work? Or was there something more? The next few days were a blur of work and tension at home. Sophia became more secretive, always hiding her phone or making excuses when Liam asked about her day. But the final straw came when Liam discovered the truth. One night, as he was putting away some paperwork, his hand brushed against a slip of paper that had been stuck underneath a stack of documents. It was an email printout. The subject line: "Last night was perfect." Liam's heart raced as he skimmed through the message. The email was from David to Sophia, and it wasn't business-related. In fact, it was far from it. It was an invitation for another secret meeting, filled with seductive language and promises of more fun in the future. Liam's world came crashing down. He was shaking, unable to comprehend what he was reading. His wife, the woman he had loved for years, was having an affair with his boss. His entire life, the trust he had built with her, was all a lie. Liam couldn't hold it in anymore. He called Sophia at work, demanding to meet her after hours. The anger and betrayal in his voice were undeniable. When they met, Sophia immediately knew something was wrong. "Liam, what's going on? You sound upset," she said, but Liam didn't give her a chance to explain. He pulled out the email printout and shoved it in front of her face. "I know about you and David," Liam said through gritted teeth. "How long has this been going on, Sophia?" Sophia's face turned white as she backed away. Her lips trembled, but she couldn't deny it. She had been caught. "Please, Liam, let me explain," she began, her voice trembling. "It was a mistake. It wasn't supposed to happen. David, he made me feel special, wanted. You've been so distant lately, and I didn't know how to handle it." Liam could barely contain his fury. "So you thought sleeping with my boss was the solution? Did you even think about me, about us?" Sophia was silent. She knew she had crossed a line she could never uncross. But her guilt was no match for the rage building inside Liam. "How could you?" he repeated, his voice shaking. "I thought I could trust you. And David, he's my boss, Sophia. My career is on the line, and you put all of that in jeopardy." Sophia's eyes filled with tears, but Liam could barely look at her. He was no longer sure who she was. The woman he had married seemed like a stranger now. The fallout from the affair was even more disastrous than Liam could have imagined, as if dealing with the heartbreak. Heartbreak wasn't enough. David, knowing the affair had been exposed, used his position of power to sabotage Liam's career. David started subtly undermining Liam at work, questioning his decisions during meetings, and even hinting to HR that Liam's performance was slipping due to personal issues. Liam was blindsided. The company he had worked so hard for now seemed to be slipping through his fingers, all because of David's influence and the affair with his wife. Liam knew he had to act fast. He couldn't let David destroy everything he had worked for. But confronting his boss would be dangerous. He had no proof of what David was doing, just his gut feeling that David was using the affair as leverage. Determined to protect his job, Liam began documenting every interaction with David. He started recording conversations, keeping a log of the subtle but damaging remarks made by David during meetings. Liam also went to HR and voiced his concerns, carefully presenting his case without directly accusing David of sabotage. Weeks went by, and Liam was on edge, unsure of what would happen next. Every meeting felt like a battle. His marriage was falling apart, and his career was hanging by a thread. The tension came to a head during a major corporate presentation. David, as usual, was in charge, but Liam had worked hard on his part of the presentation, determined to prove himself. Just as they were about to begin, David made a pointed remark about Liam's presentation slides, publicly questioning his ability to perform under pressure. Liam had had enough. He stood up, facing David in front of the whole room, his voice steady but full of conviction. "David, I know what you're doing, and I won't let you ruin my career. If you think I'll stay silent while you manipulate the situation, you're wrong." The room went silent. David's face darkened, and for a moment, it seemed like a confrontation was imminent. But instead of backing down, Liam pushed forward. He pulled out his phone and played a recording of a private conversation between David and HR, where David had subtly implied that Liam's performance had been negatively affected by personal issues, despite Liam's excellent track record. David's face turned crimson as the evidence became clear. HR immediately took action, and within days, David was removed from his position. It wasn't just Liam's job that was saved, it was his dignity. He had stood up for himself and fought back. As for Sophia, their marriage was left in ruins. After David's downfall, she tried to reach out, asking for forgiveness. But Liam knew that the betrayal was too much to overcome. "I don't know who you are anymore," Liam told her quietly. "You chose this life over everything we built together. I can't live with that." Sophia, devastated by the loss of both her husband and her career, moved out and started over. Liam, though heartbroken, felt a sense of closure. It was a painful process, but he had learned that sometimes you have to fight for yourself, not just for your career, but for your own peace of mind. Liam's life gradually returned to a sense of normalcy. He focused on his career, rebuilding his reputation, and eventually found love again with someone who truly appreciated him. His journey was a painful one, but it taught him that, even in the darkest moments, you have the power to rise above. Thank you so much for watching today's story. Betrayal is never easy to deal with, especially when it affects both your heart and your career. Have you ever experienced something like this? How did you handle it? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories. Thanks again for watching, and remember, sometimes the hardest battles are the ones that shape us the most.